Welcome to Around the Rinks, your go-to hockey podcast.
We are back for another episode Around the Rinks. I'm Noah, Brendan, Kylee, and Reece are here. We're going to start off with a little discussion. We're going to say who's better, McKinnon or McCarr? Throwing to you, Brendan.
Better, or who would I rather have?
Rather have, yeah.
McCarr, man.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know, it was the least confident I've ever been in a take in my life because we got an MVP and we got another MVP, but I like McKinnon. He is fast. He is smart. He's kind of cute. All of the above.
Yeah, so you swapped it up there. I'm pretty sure you said McCarr first, and said you liked McKinnon?
No, McCarr. Stick with McCarr.
There you go.
Number 8. Grade 8.
Okay.
No one else had that nickname ever.
Yeah, the grade 8?
Yeah.
There he is.
That's a good one, actually.
Thank you.
That'll stick.
Yeah, Kylee, take it away.
If I can't choose McDavid, then I'll go McKinnon, right? He's a great captain, great leader. He's up there in goal scoring right now. Mm-hmm. If he's not top, he's
second right now.
He's second, yeah. So, McKinnon. Go ahead, Reece.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really go wrong with either of them, but I would probably have to go McCarr. Like, Avs got a lot more serious, like, after they got McCarr. Really filled out the team. It makes a lot of a difference when you've got a fourth forward out there that can also defend as well. So, I got to go McCarr.
It's probably the hardest questions. Basically, do you want to build your team around offense or defense? I think I got to go with the center, though. Got to go with McKinnon. Just, how can you not? East Coaster. Love the guy so much. Top speed. You can't really beat that. Like, other than McDavid, I think McKinnon's just second right there for top players to pick.
And just a freak intensity-wise.
Yeah, right? And, yeah, he just leads the team, too. Like,
yeah.
He gets everybody in the mood. Make sure everybody has their diets and stuff, too.
Yeah, seriously.
Is he on their diets?
Yeah, I don't know. I know he used to be. I don't know how big he is on it now.
I think when they got eliminated one year, they changed, like, they didn't have any sweets in the like team like nutrition room. It's just basically like sweet potatoes and
he's
like,
hard, guys.
Cool. Egg whites and steaks. For
he's definitely, I would say, like, he's probably the polar opposite of like McDavid with how like seems pretty nonchalant, like doesn't speak much, and then like McKinnon is like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Speaking of McDavid, though, 6 points, 6 assists.
Yeah,
hasn't been done in Oilers history since Paul Coffey in the 80s. Like,
there you go.
Just a freak. That's insane.
Yeah,
like
hitting
6 assists.
600 also.
On a game that the Oilers
needed it.
Didn't play well either, right?
No, the first 40 was
tough.
Next to atrocious.
Yeah, they probably played a solid like 30 minutes of the game and scored 8 goals.
Yeah. We talked about last time. That was a game where Oilers outscored their problems once again, and McDavid just putting up 6 apples. Man, he likes his apples. But
I like how it all started too, right? And I think he even said it in the post game. But I'm gonna put on my Connor McDavid cap real quick because I said it with no witnesses, but I did say it. Just getting back to basics. Show me, the old Dave Sawchuk. Show me you can do it before we actually move on to the next thing, right? Don't button hook. Don't fly by the net. If it's not there, throw it at the pad. Next thing you know, it goes off a shin pad. We're in the game.
Yeah.
Now we got a 4-3 lead. Next thing you know, you're up 5-3, 6-3. 4, whatever it is at that point. Now we're gonna start doing the spinoramas. Now we'll show off a bit, right? Like
spinoramas,
but
passing.
Prove to me you can go score a greasy garbage bullshit goal, and then spinorama because that's sick.
Yeah.
Once you have the lead, you're allowed to do that.
Yeah.
Well, it's like literally like that Holloway goal, like diving in. He literally just came off the bench, cruising into the offensive zone, dives to score the goal. Like. That's some hard work and stuff right there. And takes out McDavid in the process. Like,
yeah, that was funny.
And that spinorama, like, he's done it before. Like, he had that one against Chicago a few years ago. But, like, he was moving so fast. Like, it's hard to even, like, tell slowed down, like, how he's doing it because he's still moving fast, like, slowed down. It's, like, the way that he thinks is just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, I'd end up like fracturing my tailbone if I tried that.
I'm
Breaking
still
both
sore
kneecaps. Yeah.
watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So after 6 points last night, he has 18 points in his last 7 games. And I think we talk about this every single podcast. I bring it up, but he's 13 points away from Kucherov now for the league lead.
That's silly.
Like, we haven't even hit the trade deadline. Like, it's definitely still in reason for him to finish first. And I think he's now 70-some points out of 1,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I don't know if Kucherov and McKinnon are still on that pace for like 140 or whatever, but I think McDavid needs 150 to finish off the year to have 1,000, which is like just so ridiculous. But
on the pace he's at right now, McKinnon and Kucherov are out of this world right now, and we've been saying that for the last couple of podcasts. But McDavid right now, he's on his rocket ship going up and away right now, and I do see him passing both of those guys.
Okay.
Yeah, I see it happening. And he's on a different level. And if he can score 6 points every night, I mean, how can't he? Right?
It's so wild how like he just gets better and better and better and better. Like every time you like think he's like not going to exceed your expectations, it's like, well, where do I set the bar now? Like,
and it's like kind of like Crosby. Crosby's still getting better, it feels like, every year, right? And he's always developing something new in his game, and sure, he's slowed down now, but then he's improving other parts. And McDavid, he's going to be doing that for the rest of his career.
Exactly, yeah.
And on the level he's at right now, I can't imagine him still 4 years from now at 30 or whatever.
Yeah, just like evolving his game.
And he's just entering his prime, right?
Literally.
Yeah,
I did.
How old is he?
27?
27, yeah.
27? Yeah, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
I did see a thing, actually, that McDavid has more points right now than Pavel Datsyuk, Bobby Orr, Peter Forsberg, Eric Lindros, Pavel Bure, and Danny Heatley, which I mean, like, 1507. Like, you gotta respect him.
Danny Heatley, the GOAT.
But, like, that's...
Yeah,
to
those
think
are
he has
big
more
names.
points than, like, Peter Forsberg, especially.
yeah,
like,
Those guys all had pretty short careers, though, no?
yeah.
I mean, he's
But
played less games.
He's
played
played
just
probably
over 600.
300 less games than the majority of them. Like,
but there goes that argument. But
it's crazy to see it in like that kind of perspective. Like
those guys are Hall of Famers.
exactly, like
Yeah, the best to ever do it.
Yeah,
and
like,
we're making a mockery of it.
oh, it's insane.
Yeah, I'm so excited to see what the next couple years bring with McDavid. Like, he's only getting better. Like, last year,
he doesn't
scored.
resign.
Yeah, he scored more last year, but his game is just improving even more this year. Even though he's not scoring as much, his assists are skyrocketing like crazy.
Yeah.
Like, he's taking more of a team player approach.
Well, there was one, too, and to pinpoint the time or the play exactly, but it was kind of a broken 3-on-2 going down against Detroit. Gets busted up, Sider probably. The first guy recovering to F3, or that was F3, that's filling in for the D was McDavid.
Yeah,
Right? When you think, not actually too shit on the Leafs because, the Leafs stink. Austin Matthews, phenomenal goal scorer. The guy puts the puck in the net, but that guy is running back door for the one-timer. Not that that's a bad thing, because goals win you games, but it's so cool to see your superstar player, the guy that is the best player in the world, being the first guy back. Like, that
I think that's really
gives you so much
been
hope.
the biggest adjustment this year. Because I mean, it's hard to criticize a guy like that, obviously, but like there was definitely times the past couple of years where it's like, okay, Connor,
goal
like, you
sucking.
gotta get a little
Or
more
just-
dirty, like
Just the beginning of the season.
yeah, exactly. But I think like even if you look at like the advanced stats and stuff, like his defense this year has been some of the best in the NHL, like especially among forwards. Like it's actually been pretty crazy to see. I think he's finally figured out like, oh yeah, I can be strong in my own zone here and then still have this opportunity breaking out here. Like that kind of cheat off a little bit. Like, he's just learning, like, more and more.
Well, an extra 100 feet to widen that up.
Exactly.
I
Shucks.
wouldn't be surprised if he's a finalist for Selke this
That's
year.
so awesome.
Honestly,
I'm
yeah.
so happy you said that.
Yeah.
Let's start the bandwagon right now, McDavid.
It's
Selke.
nice
Yeah.
seeing him change up his game a little bit because, I mean, what are these guys doing? They're watching clips of McDavid over and over and over again. They've seen his plays, and he's changing it up now.
Yeah.
And it's nice to see him passing more. It kind of sucks because, like, the McDavid fan in me, I'm like, I want to see him score more, but also seeing him get, like, all these crazy amounts of assists and stuff, and, like, comparing him to Matthews. Like, yeah, Matthews is scoring more, but whose team loves whose captain more?
It's almost opposite.
Yeah.
Where Matthews is on pace for 70 goals, but 30, 40 assists. Where it's the exact opposite with McDavid.
Yeah.
Where he's on pace for 30, 40 goals, but he's gonna blow past.
Probably gonna have
assists.
100 assists.
Well,
Exactly.
the big difference between those is speed, right? Like McDavid,
Yeah.
you're going down the wing at that speed, like you're going to draw people, and then you're going to have that empty forward finding open space.
No, it's
right?
just like that,
which is what
Petrangelo clip that you were talking about last week.
Yeah, pretty
with
much.
McKinnon.
Yep.
He's still in
Yeah,
the D zone,
exactly.
like, oh no.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, exactly like that. So that just creates opportunities for guys to score, like Austin Matthews, who's great at finding open space.
He's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So,
But we just need Marner to get him there. Right?
Yeah.
Nylander, he's so.
I mean, Nylander's been sick, but
That whole cast of characters is amazing. But
yeah,
Matthews'
Speaking of-
best talent is, like you said, probably the open ice.
yeah.
Speaking of the cast characters in Toronto, John Tavares, no 5-on-5 goals in his last 26 games.
Wow. Ouchie.
I didn't even what.
Damn.
That's insane.
That's a rough stat.
Like, that is, I mean, like, he's obviously getting older, and, like, he's not the number one guy on that team for sure. But, I mean, making $11 million?
Yeah.
Like, that's insane.
Him wanting to pay those taxes, getting to his head. Eh?
Literally.
Yeah. Legal trouble.
Yeah.
Don't get into legal trouble in the middle of the season.
But going back to McDavid's 6-point night, the all-time leader, 6 points. In 6-point games, Wayne Gretzky had 29.
Wow.
That's insane. And last year, Tage Thompson had 2, actually,
Yep.
which is crazy. Tage Thompson, 29 points in 42 games this year. His point percentage has basically gone down, like, by half.
Well, that's kind of been the
Compared to
Sabres
last
season,
year.
too, a little bit, no?
Sorry?
Kind of been the Sabres season
Honestly,
a little bit. Like,
yeah.
they just, not maybe warranted expectations, but definitely falling short of where a lot of people thought they were going to be.
Seriously, like, and I mean, for teams like them in Ottawa, who, like, people really thought, like, this was going to be their year, like, it's just been so disappointing. And I think that now you've kind of got to see, like, okay, well, we thought Buffalo's coach was actually good, but, like, there's a lot of talent on that team. It's like the Oilers back in 2014.
Yep.
Like,
Just
so much
young.
youth and, like, so much potential, but just, like, can't get out of that, like, losing culture.
Yeah.
Yeah. One more thing to add on McDavid. Another big stat guy coming up. Fewest games to 600 career assists. There's only 3 people ahead of him: Wayne Gretzky, Mario Lemieux, and Bobby Orr. Then it's McDavid.
It's insane that
That's
that's like the
laughable.
company.
Those are 3 big names ahead
Those
of
are the
him.
3
But
biggest names in
Gretzky,
hockey.
Gretzky's like 300 less games or 200 less games.
we don't
or
even
something,
talk
though.
about it.
Yeah, like, it's
Gretzky's on a
insane.
different-
Like,
He was
that's
actually
ridiculous.
600 assists still in Pee Wee.
Yeah,
Somehow.
yeah,
Still on Timbits.
Yeah.
I think he was 8 games behind Bobby Orr. So,
yeah. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, the ability, like, what we're watching right now is, like, you kind of just have to admire it. Like, I
Yeah.
know we, like, stroke off McDavid literally.
Yeah,
almost
I mean,
every
we've
time
talked
in
about
the
it for
podcast.
20
rename
minutes.
this podcast.
But, like, he's just, like, so, head and shoulders above the rest of the league.
Yeah.
Like, in my opinion, it's just insane what we get to watch on a nightly basis.
Yeah, it's lucky to be a Oilers fans. And a little bit, not a football podcast, but the Super Bowl, same thing with Pat Mahomes.
Ugh.
Like, he got the ball at the very end in overtime there, and it was just like, well,
You know.
this guy's winning. Like,
Yeah.
I'm in Camrose, Alberta on a couch, and I can
Yeah.
feel it from Vegas.
Exactly.
Like, this guy's going down. And
I know,
scoring.
and so many, like, huge third downs, like 3rd and 10 on those last couple drives, and he
But, like, never
runs for
doubt.
20 yards. Yeah, exactly.
Like, any
Like,
other quarterback, any other, well, maybe not even team, but quarterback for sure, you're sitting there like, is it going to happen?
just like a legitimately like surgical performance that he puts on. Like Mahomes I think is the only other guy that you can kind of compare to McDavid in another sport. I mean, Mahomes has more like hardware, like team wise and stuff. Like Chiefs are obviously a lot more dominant, but like their ability to just take over games, I don't think there's anybody else in
the best at their sport and arguably ever talent wise, right? Like you're not going to say Mahomes is better than Brady. You're not going to say McDavid's better than Crosby. All these things, right? Or Crosby, fuck, sorry.
Yeah. maybe Max Verstappen in Formula One,
but like just dominant talent, something the world's never seen.
Seriously.
Yeah, it's fun to see it that we're living in the present right now.
Take it all in.
Seeing McDavid, seeing the big win streak going on.
Well, and like so much of sports too is like so much comparison. Like LeBron, MJ, like it's
inevitable.
You really don't get the opportunity as like sports fan to just sit there and be like, wow, these guys are so good. Like I don't like Matthews, and I think it's only because like I just am like so hard on about McDavid. Like
yeah. See, I love Matthews. I'd take him on my team any day.
Yeah. He's so good. Like he might score 70 goals this year. Like, that's insane.
And it's kind of been quiet too. It's a quiet 70 goals, right? Yeah. You don't see like even except for Toronto media, of course. But you just don't.
It's just another day at work, right?
Yeah, I guess another day at work for him.
Yeah. Do we see the Leafs making playoffs?
100%. Yeah.
I hope they fall off as an Albertan kid.
Their bottom six is so bad. Like
I mean, they proved it tonight or last night. I guess all their depth coming up with Marner, Tavares out, right? McMahon hat trick.
Yeah, like
no one saw that happen.
Yeah, seriously, when you get that's like a Derek Ryan hat trick. Like it's just so like unexpected.
Actually, speaking of hat tricks, over the weekend I was talking to a friend of a friend, I guess, but he now knows a guy. We're getting a little off the the sources are becoming a little bit distant. Yeah, exactly. But he knows one of his buddies put $100 on Uyghur to score a hat trick.
No shit.
Puts the empty netter in and won like $20,000.
What?
Yeah. Whoa. He said it was just under. Like, come on. Oh
my gosh.
Yeah. Off the board.
It probably was only like $1 bet.
I think he said he put 100 on, which is a little bit of a degenerate bet, but
holy shit. That guy,
not degenerate when it pays out.
What a comfortable man compared to me.
Yeah, he must have a fat
$100 to lose is like, because who the hell would have thought Uyghur would score a hat trick?
No.
Who's the last defenseman to get a hat trick? Like who?
Oh, that's.
I say it wasn't long ago.
No, like probably I don't think it was. But I mean, like
few and far between.
Yeah, like it never happens.
Yeah. I just saw a picture. Phil Kessel on the ice in Abbotsford right now.
Yes, I saw something about that.
Yeah, that came out yesterday that he's now training in Abbotsford. So, Phil Kessel to the Nucks.
I saw he was going to visit. I didn't know if anything.
He's on the ice right now in Abbotsford. So
crazy.
That I'd love that, honestly. Even if like I love Phil Kessel so much. Even as a 13 forward, he'd be just so great on that team. Think of what he like did in Vegas last year, right?
No, just step in and be a pro.
Yeah, right. And he's a locker room presence as well, right?
Yep.
He gets people going.
Won cups, been there, done that.
He's done everything, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the last defenseman to get a hat trick. Funny enough, it looks like
Mackenzie Weegar.
No,
2017.
The last game of last year's regular season, probably. Nikita Zadorov.
Oh. Imagine that.
On the Flames.
Imagine that.
Back-to-back defenseman hat tricks for the Flames. That's insane. Like,
and Zadorov even a bigger off the board.
That would have never, ever been my guess.
Huh. Yeah, that's for like a big guy. He just got suspended on last week or sometime for 2 games on the head check. I remember that.
Lots.
Lucas Raymond.
Lots of suspensions lately.
Oh, suspension heavy this week.
Shall we get into it? Because I know we got lots.
Yeah. One thing I want to bring up is the Matt Grzelcyk fine for the spear Max Pacioretty's nuts. Oh, that hurt.
That's definitely worth
so
$5,000.
Fun to watch.
That would have hurt so much. At least Pacioretty has like 7 kids or something, so I
I
hope he
don't
doesn't
think-
need any more, right?
Shouldn't
So-
need those bad boys anymore.
Well, that actually reminded me of when Buddy got the puck to his balls.
Nice.
I think that was last year.
Nice word
and he
choice.
was
I
like,
remember
I'm done
Wheeler.
having kids.
Yeah,
so
I think,
there we go.
I think that was Blake Wheeler.
Yeah,
think
it
I remember
was.
that.
I remember like a while ago. I don't know if you guys remember the name Matt Hendricks.
Oh,
Like he used to play on Edmonton, super sandpaper.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But he blocked a shot in Dallas and it hit him right in the can, shattered his whole can. Like
remember
they had
that.
pictures of it after, and it was like
The-
completely shredded.
Yeah, I guess that's why we wear those.
Oh my gosh!
they're
Like
pretty
I couldn't
important.
imagine.
And I remember people on my team always not wearing cups. I'm like, you guys are so stupid.
Yeah, we definitely. I
Like-
grew up on the cup check.
Yeah.
Era.
Oh, yeah. As a goalie, I used to fucking between the legs up.
Yeah,
Dirty.
and there's always like sometimes you get to practice and you're like, boys, I forgot my can. Like you guys gotta lay off.
You
it.
gotta-
Like, you gotta be chill.
I'm not blocking any
Yeah,
shots today.
exactly.
But we'll go into probably the biggest suspension of the week.
Mr. Morgan.
Morgan Riley,
Oh.
Yeah.
Toronto, 5 games for a cross-check to the head on
Rocky.
Ridley Griggs, right on his face.
And before we talk about the suspension and whatnot, absolute rock star.
Rock star.
I love that so
Oh
much.
my God.
Walking into the hash marks and laying one right out for the empty net. That is so awesome.
That is literally like flipping the double bird and screaming
Yeah.
"fuck you" to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Like so
And
funny.
the game was in Ottawa, and usually Ottawa games are packed full of Leaf fans. So that must have felt so good.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just finishing off the game.
Right
And
across
how
the
about-
border.
Bird right to
Oh.
the Leafs crowd.
How about the absolute anarchy on Leafs and Sens social media? Like these are honestly like speaking as a Oilers fan, don't have much to say, but like these seem like literally the 2 stupidest fucking fan bases in the world with how they're reasoning everything. Like, I mean, God forbid, like Greg takes a slap shot, like somebody's gonna
It's
do
going
something.
to I don't like Riley did the right thing, right?
Yeah, to a
Like,
certain
to-
extent.
yeah,
No,
like-
he did like he wasn't intending to injure him, right?
I
Like,
don't
Yeah.
think he meant to
Or-
go for the neck.
Yeah, but
Okay,
at the
that might
same
be worse.
time, like kind of the coward's way up to bring your stick up, and I hate
Yeah,
the
right.
C word.
I'd
definitely.
rather
but like
rather
auto shed, sucker punch.
sucker punch him right
like,
in the face.
Yeah,
right?
like even if one shove, even if he says no, I'm still gonna drop.
yeah,
like
and
you
you're
gotta
shooting your
retaliate.
5
Like you
games.
got to retaliate after
Exactly.
that.
Yes.
Just
yeah,
like
you let
it-
that go?
Yeah,
Oh.
exactly. It's gonna get talked about forever if he lets it go, and it's gonna get talked about forever if he crotch checks him in the head.
Yeah.
Like
I'm just
it's-
happy we get to
He
talk
couldn't.
about
Yeah.
I don't
project
think he
with
could have
face.
won, and I think he chose maybe the right option. I don't think he meant to get him in the neck. I think he meant to cross check like shoulders or the.
Yeah.
But I don't think he meant neck. And yeah,
I think a
so I think
sucker
it's.
punch would've
I
been
think
better.
this. I think they were trying to give him 3 games off, but I think they wanted to make an example out of him
Well, as they
and
should.
give him 5.
Yeah.
And
Well, I
they're-
mean-
they're- he is appealing it. So
Yeah, was that what their press conference was about today?
Well, they
'Cause
brought
I
him
saw
in.
that.
yeah, he's going to Bettman because it's the in person, so it's a Bettman decision now, right? So we'll see if
I mean,
Bettman
like,
just, like
I don't
says,
know.
Nah,
I don't know if there ever had like. I think the last time I know for sure was when Dennis Weidman hit that ref.
yeah.
And they
Oh,
dropped
wow. I
it
didn't
from
see
like
him.
20 some. Yeah. Like
Whatever,
just
buddy.
dumped them.
I
But
think
I
I
think-
saw that today actually on
Yeah.
Instagram.
That was like that was super messed up. I think he got like 20 some games, and then they reduced
Yeah.
it to like 17 or something.
Well, it
but
doesn't look like it was an accident.
No.
no.
He was
No.
facing the ref. Like I get maybe if you're looking away, but no, that
Yeah, you're
looked on purpose.
Professional hockey player, you should probably be pretty aware of your surroundings.
Yeah. And for the appeal takes a bit too, right? Like he's
Do they
gonna
get to
be
play during the appeal?
what?
They get to play during the appeal, right?
No.
I don't think so. I think they're like the.
So what's
Because
going to
how
happen?
does that
it's
count
going
towards the
it's
games
going,
then?
It's going through a process right now, and this might take 3 or 4 games, right? So
Yeah.
his suspension might already be over.
Yeah.
But if it does get appealed, he gets the money back
I
from the
hear
games
you.
he missed. So
Okay.
I think he's supposed to lose like over $800,000 over these.
Which is also silly.
Yeah,
So,
5
but
games,
I mean
they
he's
play
also
82.
making.
I'm
yeah.
not a big math guy, but it makes that 9 million really feel real.
right.
But I mean, do you guys remember when Ottawa was playing Detroit and Larkin got like KO'd on the ice,
Yep.
And then Perron like cross-checked Zub it like right in the face.
Yeah, same
like
thing.
Perron got 6 games.
Then he appealed it.
Yeah.
And it got sent back a couple games, but those games already passed by, and he got paid for the games he.
So I don't know. Like I do think like 5 games is fair. Like I think it's definitely like you can't do that.
Yeah.
Like.
Because I mean, if you think deep about it, like you could have gotten a neck injury, you could have gotten a spine injury. Like it's all about like what if or what could have happened
exactly.
is why he got
like
those
when they
5
bring
games.
that in, when the DO or DPS or Department of Player Safety brings that in, they're not like, oh well, Greg took a slap shot. Like blah, blah, blah. They're like, okay, well this guy scored on an empty net and you cross-checked him in the neck. Like it's not so circumstantial to these guys. Like
they don't care about the before; they care about what you did after.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, even like a 2-hand to the back of the leg or something. Like, still not cool, but
I think you should have just
not a
punched him.
suspension.
Yeah.
Like, it's the same. If you sucker punched him, nothing would happen.
You're not going to get suspended for sucker punching somebody after they slap shot the puck into the
Corey Perry
empty
does that
net.
every game. So
I think my favorite part of like what's come out of this whole thing though is the resurgence of all of these videos of guys like just so disrespectfully scoring these empty netters and like the anarchy that just breaks out after. Like,
did you see the one where Buddy held it right on
Yeah,
the goal line?
so that was
that was in a Eastern Conference.
yeah,
That was
that
like-
eliminated Ottawa out of the playoffs that
Yeah.
year. Like
I
that
didn't
had to have been the
see
80s or something
how,
or
yeah,
90s.
because
I don't
the
think
video
it's
was
that long, but-
horrible. So I was like, this is old, but it's
Yeah.
also amazing. Like I laughed. I saw that in class actually, and I
Yeah.
was laughing.
Literally
so
was
hard.
about to score, waved, and then put it in the net. Like, like so
Dude,
disrespectful.
and that's a playoff game too.
Yeah.
Like, regular season, sure, go ahead, but
Have fun golfing,
eliminate.
fellas.
Yeah, right.
literally.
3 big milestones were hit this week. I'm going to start with probably most of our favorite goaltenders in the league. Marc-Andre Fleury hitting 1,000 games last week. You know, the 3-time Stanley Cup winner, 2009, 2016, 2017. What a guy. We love Flower, right?
It really frustrates me when people like try to take away from this dude. Like, second all time in wins. He's played 1,000 games, won 3 Stanley Cups. Like, might not have played like all of the games in the playoffs, but they're in the playoffs for a reason, and it's Marc-Andre Fleury majority of the time. Like,
He's not given enough credit. For
exactly.
Sure.
Like that 09 Cup.
Was
He made
his.
the game-winning,
Yeah,
like
coming
the Stanley
across,
Cup winning
jumping.
save. Yeah, exactly. Like, I find it crazy that people sit there and say like this guy isn't a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
Also-
no, he has to be.
Don't discount the gold medals either, right?
exactly. Yeah.
I don't think he was the one in between the pipes or when they won gold. Was that not Luongo in like
not for
10?
Olympics. It was,
But you're still wearing the
Luongo
medal around the
twice.
neck. You were still there.
Yeah.
You're
right?
on.
Like,
Yeah, you're on Team Canada.
He
for
played
the
games.
Olympics.
It's not like he just rode pine.
Yeah.
Like, it is
He's
insane.
he's
and he
a
rocked
locker room
the
guy too, right?
highlighter yellow pads.
Yeah.
That
Best
was
pads in the league.
still my favorite hockey pad or hockey card
Yeah.
to date.
He always has the best pads in the league. He's such a flash guy, you know, like fashion.
Yeah. And all those little stories that you hear about like him
Pranking.
The pranks.
pranking guys.
Oh,
yeah, it's so funny.
You know, love him. But yeah, second all time and wins behind.
On 1,000 games for a goalie.
Brodeur.
Like
Yeah.
how that's over, no?
longevity.
That's over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That we don't see that anymore, no?
No.
Not even close.
Because
No.
usually
And-
they're getting hurt
and-
by then.
and
like-
now-
Well, and just load
it's not even
management
that.
too.
It's just now
like, if you're playing 60 games a year as a goalie, you are an anomaly.
you're cooked.
Yeah, like that just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Well, like the Oilers play, not to go back to the Oilers, but they play 33 games in the next 64 days, I think it is.
Sure.
Like, how many games is Skinner going to start out of that?
It's going to be a lot. Honestly,
20?
it will probably be a lot.
Like, I think
And
it-
that's why having
I think
a
it's gonna be
backup
more than
is
20.
so important now.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Well, and even the tandems, right?
Yeah.
You hear so much about tandems.
Yeah.
One, it's finding a superstar goalie is
Yeah.
next to impossible, but you can't just run one dude for 82
Yeah.
For sure.
Look at Boston's success, right?
Yeah.
They have probably
Yeah.
2 top 10 goalies,
until
right?
they lose out in the first round again.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
I have them going to the final. So, another player hitting 1,000 games, Alex Pietrangelo. Love
him.
that guy.
Don't like him.
yeah, as an
Yeah,
Oilers
don't
I
like
was gonna say,
fan,
him
you
I'm
guys are
at all.
Oilers fans. You probably hate him.
I-
Probably
well-
for the dry saddle thing.
Well, it's been twice now in the last 2 years or year that he's two-hand whacked a guy with a stick, like legitimately a weapon. Like
with intent to
he's
hurt.
a good defenseman,
That's
very
what
good defensive
amazing.
defenseman.
gets me.
And
But,
he will lead Canada in the Olympics, right?
He's
going
gonna
to be up there, right?
He'll be dust by then.
I'm
I don't know.
interesting to see him and Drat
Yeah.
because there's
I've-
still beef there.
Well, yeah, in that game that they played against Vegas where they lost a streak, like I think Pietrangelo just skated by Nurse and Nurse just two-hand whack in the back of the leg. Like I would love to see another
after
playoff
every
series.
whistle, it's always a scrum with Pietrangelo if he's on the ice, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm a
But
big
kudos to
Pietrangelo.
him.
Yeah,
1,000 games,
also
that's a lot of
two-time,
games.
He's a good
Stanley Cup.
player. And
Yeah.
and led the Blues in 2019 and just recently won one.
Yeah. Hell of a hockey player.
Yeah.
Cups and medals again.
Yeah.
You know,
Also probably a Hall of Famer.
see you there.
Yeah. Also, maybe a little more of a controversial Hall of Famer. Brad Marchand last night hitting 1,000 games.
He's
I
got a
knew
lot
you were gonna
more.
bring that up.
Yeah.
Hall of Famer for sure.
He got his one cup in 2011, and right now he's on pace for a career high in goals.
Wow.
For 39 goals this season at 35 years of age. So he's just continuing to produce, and now first time being captain, leading this Boston team, he's really picked up his game, and he's not really like too much of a, I don't want to say a brat or a rat, but he still does what he needs to do. But he's not like
he's definitely put
everyone.
the rat
leadership.
thing in the back pocket.
Yeah.
It's still there, but it's in the holster. It's not out, but
Well, you know
just
what?
a fantastic
Yeah.
talent.
Good for him for hitting these milestones before
Yeah.
he reaches 40, though, right? Like captain,
Sure, yeah.
1,000 games, possible Hall of Famer, or he's getting
I think
put
he,
in.
I think he goes to Hall of
I think
Fame.
Yeah.
So
Good for him.
in since 2010, he has the 11th most points in the NHL.
Yeah.
Like for a guy that's been described as a rat his whole career, like that's all he's been known as. He's just so quietly been so consistent.
And he's
He's
definitely
putting
been
the
one of the
numbers up.
best like defensive players. Like
Yeah.
he's great on the penalty kill,
Like-
and that he showed that he's been showing it all the time, right? Him and Bergeron on that PK for a decade now.
He's exactly one of those guys like you hate playing against him, love to have him on your team though.
Yeah, right. He's always one of he would be known for that guy.
Yeah.
Also, since he's been a full-time Bruin, the Bruins do lead the NHL in points or point percentage. So he
they
knows how to
just
win.
don't have regular seasons that flop.
Yeah.
no, Boston.
It's
No,
insane.
Boston
Look
will
at their
never
roster
done.
right now. It is. You look at it on paper and it
Looks
this
like
team
compared to last year.
stinks.
It's
Pavel Zacha's your first line center.
Yeah.
Are
Yeah,
you
and
serious?
him and like Charlie Coyle have really stepped it up for being the fourth and third guy last year.
Yeah.
Going to 1 and 2 now. And both of them, it's just been unreal.
And they're
right?
they're consistently top 3, top 5 in the league.
Yep.
No matter what, doesn't matter. It's
Bruins will, and I feel like we've been saying this for like years now. How Bruins are
They gotta
Bruins
fall
are
off at
done.
some point.
Yeah.
They're gonna fall off. They're getting old. Nope. And now they got young guys coming in. They got Swayman looking sick. They got McAvoy looking better. One of the best defensemen in the league. Pasternak's third in points this year. Like,
Yeah.
Can you imagine if they didn't flop with that DeBrusque draft pick?
yeah. Or
Yeah.
who was it?
There was back to back there.
It was
They had
3.
three.
It was 3.
It was 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They tried to move him, couldn't move him, and then they were like, fuck it, let's pick these guys.
Yeah.
And then
Forget his
right
name, he
after
starts with-
is Barzell, Kyle Connor.
Yeah, like that. Oh,
Such a loaded 2015
Yeah.
draft,
Yeah.
and they missed on all 3 of their picks.
Like they have not been good at drafting or trading as well. Like they've had Joe Thornton on their team. They've had Tyler Sagan, and they've traded both of them off. Like
Sagan didn't party for 5 cups in the 1 cup.
Yeah.
Probably would have been fine, but maybe burnt a bridge or two.
yeah, maybe. But the fact that this team is still been the best team in NHL for over a decade now is just crazy.
Yeah, talked about that culture in Buffalo. Just like can't get out of that losing culture. Like
Yes.
Boston can't get out of the winning culture. Like,
right?
It's crazy what like just expectations can do for a team.
Yeah. Speaking of Buffalo, absolutely spanked LA last night.
Thanks
Yeah.
for
Good to see.
See that Zach Benson goal?
Oh
Him
my, thank you
falling
very
down
much.
Barry's
That was sick.
He's so good.
I love him. I really wish Montreal would have picked him at 5, and he went all the way down to 13. I think, saying Montreal again, I think he's going to be like a Cole Caulfield.
I could see
got
it.
looked upon because of his size
Yeah.
and And now he's playing NHL in his first year, and he's scoring goals like that. And his first NHL goal is an
absolute honey badger too. Like watching those games, like I've only watched a couple Buffalo games, but he works so hard in the corners, like especially for such a small guy. Yep. Like he reminds me a lot of like a more productive Yamamoto, like just getting in there, digging, like doesn't care if he gets knocked down, gets right back up, and like so sick with his hands. Like
he's a great defensive guy too.
Yeah,
and like you said, he's great on the wall, winning battles and whatever. So
you might want to fact check this stat guy, but Caulfield and Benson, like both national program or whatever they call it down in Ann Arbor there. No, the national program. Yeah.
Development program. No, Benson played in a WHL.
Kootenay.
Did he?
For the Ice.
He played
but
for
an American kid, right?
Yeah.
Like he would have came through that, though, no? In the younger years?
I think he's Canadian.
I think he is Canadian.
Holy.
Yeah.
Cut it.
Sorry, man.
There you go.
That's why I was fact checking.
We
didn't even need to put it in the computer.
I know I was always a big fan of Benson, so.
But yeah, I'll just shut up. Yeah. Never mind.
I used to like go to Winnipeg Ice games when they were in Edmonton just to see because they had a stacked team with Savoy and Geeky as well. But yeah, anything else, guys? I could go back to, or we can go stick to NCAA, I guess, with the Bean Pot.
The Bean Pot.
Yeah.
Final was Monday. We got Northeastern continuing their Bean Pot dynasty with a overtime win against BU or Boston University. I just want to say this guy's name because I love him so much. Overtime winner, Gunnar Wolf Fontaine.
Yeah, that guy I saw on Twitter, like destined to be the Bean Pot hero.
Yeah.
What a name.
Like I
saw
like the rosters for the game. I was like, that is sick.
That is just such a good name.
And this guy scores the OT winner.
I've never heard of him, and he's a Nashville 7th round pick in 2020. So
they probably saw him on the draft board and went,
it's like, yeah,
all right, fuck it, last pick, let's go.
Reece, you got a sick name too, though. It's up there.
Thank you. Yeah, no,
just no one knows how to pronounce it.
I like my name for sure.
Revel. I got it. Chris doesn't know how to pronounce it though.
Revel.
I'm not gonna correct Chris. He's fine.
We love him too much.
Yeah, that's a sick name though.
Thank you. Everybody's got good names in here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Brendan Eric.
I don't know.
2 first names.
The producer Liam. Liam's kind of crazy.
I like Liam Peace.
Liam Peace is sick.
He's just on his phone in the
just
corner.
out here being humble.
Noah Pomeroy.
Yeah.
Kylie Betts. But yeah, I've been really like, this is the first season where I've been like really keeping track in the NCAA. How much of a fun league is that?
It's so awesome.
Yeah, and
a lot of more visors though. Come on.
Yeah, that's a big thing too, right?
Like those student section cellies are so sick.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't imagine being out there like scoring goals and just like doing a big heartbreaker, right, to like the 400 kids you're in class with and stuff. Like, it'd be so sick.
Well, me and Reece were talking about the difference between the CHL and NCAA, and we're kind of like on the leaning side on how NCAA just does it better. Yeah. Almost, right? So
there's money in it too. Like, did you just see Penn State's walkthrough of all their facility upgrades?
Yeah.
Talk about the heartbreaker when you score a goal. I would do the heartbreaker in the middle of that locker room. This is where I get to hang out every day.
Yeah.
It was insane.
Yeah. So, and we were talking about the agreement that the CHL and NCAA made for how after you finish your time in the CHL, you can go to the NCAA now to go get your degree and continue playing.
That's how it should be.
For sure.
Which
like,
is how it should have been, right?
Yeah. I've never really understood it because I get it if it's like a professional hockey league or a professional sports league in general, but like it's literally a junior hockey league. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like the majority of these guys are under 21. Like you age out of that, then you should immediately be able to go into, maybe you don't play 4 years or 5 years or whatever, but like I think you should still get that opportunity.
Yeah, and you get a degree too. Like you get so much. Like going to NCAA is just so much more security for you for your future. Like if hockey doesn't like work out or anything, you have that backup plan still.
For sure.
And it's just so much better. Like if I had the choice between going to NCAA and committing to a college, whoever, and going to the CHL, I think I'm leaning towards NCAA.
Yeah, well, I think playing not with. We just got beat up on all these guys that are now showbound and draft picks and whatnot. But when we were 13, 14, there was guys like instead of going to the Bantam draft, committing to
colleges. A couple of my schools,
colleges and junior A teams and whatnot. Like going to Penticton and as a 13-year-old, like why? Like this is the third best player in the league, and you have the pick of all these cool. You go to the Thunderbirds, or you can go
even Oil Kings.
The Oil Kings, right? Like all these places are so sick. That's kind of the dream, and it's like, well, I don't get it. And next thing you know, you're playing at North Dakota or Penn State or Wisconsin. It's like, I get it. I get it.
Yeah,
just the lifestyle's so much better there.
I think it's grown like a lot, right? Like I think hockey in like general, especially in the States, has grown a lot. But it's some of these programs, like, they're just dumping so much money into it. Like, these facilities are so unreal. Like, when you're playing the dub, like, you get to go to I wouldn't even say Calgary. The place is dumb. But, like, Edmonton, you get the best facilities in the world, pretty much. Rogers. It's pretty few and far between. Or you're in a Red Deer. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Like, they're... pretty much every place that you're playing in the NCAA, like, it's going to be pretty sick.
Yeah, and they fill the buildings, right? And the one thing that you can maybe knock the Oil Kings on is they play in an arena with 18,000 seats.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? You're not going to fill that.
For sure.
Just the atmosphere's dead. It's fun. It's awesome, and they still fill most arenas that, would be in the dub. But, when you're playing in the NCAA, they have 5,000 seat arenas, and there's 5,000 people there.
They're not having to pull curtains over 10,000 seats.
Like, they're going to go crazy.
Yeah.
No, I mean, we saw the change, especially when the NHL was in COVID times and we had empty arenas. Like, it didn't do well for the players. They didn't have that atmosphere, right? So having only 5,000 seats full in an 18,000 seat arena, it's not great.
No, it looks like you're throwing stones out there.
Yeah.
I've played in arenas where you could probably fit maybe like 2,000 people, and like if it's empty in there, it is like the worst. It's so lame. I couldn't imagine like playing in front of like a place I could seat somewhere like Rogers, and it's just like completely empty.
The crowd's
like
on
maybe
top,
6,000 people. Like
seats covered.
You're walking up pregame, taping the stick on the bench, like, oh, there's gonna be somebody screaming fans. It's gonna be so awesome, and there's 30 people there.
See, that's what I'm used to, right?
Yeah,
like, only the parents being out there.
And even half of them didn't even want to come.
Yeah,
exactly.
Garbage. Everybody's just sitting by a concession.
Yeah, no one's like wants to go to the cold arena. They're just out in the lobby.
Yeah, like.
This was so much sicker in my dream.
Yeah.
Kudos to the parents that are driving to like Ponoka this weekend. Like,
true. Honestly,
7:30 Sunday morning game.
Exactly.
Woo.
Yeah.
Do we have anything else you're planning to talk about before we wrap it up? Any more stats?
I think I bring up Sam Reinhart every week, but he's got 16 goals in his last 16 games. Like, the guy just hasn't slowed down all year, which is ridiculous. And Matthew Tkachuk, he's heating up too. He's got 32 points in his last 18. He had 24 points in his first 34 games, and now he has 32 and 18.
It's starting to look like Matthew Tkachuk again.
And I mean, like, what happens if he gets going, and like, is Reinhart going to score even more? Like, it's pretty ridiculous what they're doing right now.
Well, I kind of saw that Tkachuk, like, you go on a long playoff run right like that, am I thinking? Yeah, I'm thinking the right one. But yeah, you will have burnout. You see it with Vegas now. I feel like they're now just hitting that, or they're kind of getting back now, but they hit that slump, right? That playoff
it's just
tiredness, right?
You get 6 weeks off in the off season, like your body starts to break down at some point.
Yeah, especially when you're going like these guys are almost every night. Like, but I think that since they like Florida wasn't really taken very seriously last year, like especially like after giving up Huberdeau and Weegar, like they were like, okay, well. Like, they got to fall off. Like, they're building around Tkachuk. Like, maybe this year will be a down year.
Yeah.
And then they squeeze in by the hairs of their chin. And, like, they just completely have a different swagger now.
Yeah.
Like, it's seeing some of these guys, like, I mean, Verhaeghe had a good year last year, but, like, all of a sudden everybody knows Nick Cousins. Like, I don't think if they get eliminated, if they get swept in the first round last year, I don't think we sit here and talk about Nick Cousins at all. Like,
hey, I'm a big Nick Cousins fan.
Well, I
Habs
mean,
legend.
Maybe
but-
you would, but not us.
Yeah.
it's just like some of these guys, like you get that little swagger, you get that little confidence boost, and they just take another step this year. They're definitely like a legitimate team come playoff time.
Mm-hmm. One more. Let's go to a little rumor right here. I got Devils are in and goaltender, Flames goaltender Jacob Markstrom, and there was a deal in place, and Markstrom did waive his no movement clause. But the trade did die out, but it could happen again right here. So that'd be
That's what they need.
That's what they need. And
Yeah.
Devils are also in Blue Jackets, Lincolns too. So
Yeah.
So
I
what is
don't think-
Calgary planning to do? Bring up Wolf?
I guess
well,
so.
they
Well,
have
they just-
goaltenders.
They just and you're not pushing for the playoffs, right? You
Right.
may as well
Well,
get assets.
they
where
are
you can.
heating up. To
They
be
are
fair.
they are on a little bit of a heater. Like I've been seeing a bunch of Calgary like fan pages and stuff. They're like, it's gonna suck if we go on like a decent little run for the playoffs,
Then the
miss
trade-
again, and
yeah.
then like I don't know. I think they've got to trade Hannafin. They've got to trade like
Yeah.
all these guys on expiring
I
contracts.
hope if I was them, I'd try to keep Hannafin. I really
Yeah,
like his
that would be
game.
the guy I
He's
would try
young
to
enough
resign.
still, right?
But I think honestly, in the circumstances, like I'd heard that the Devils were also talking about bringing in Hannafin too, like
Yeah.
a part of that Markstrom trade.
Oh,
But
oh.
if anybody is going to overpay for Hannafin right now, it's the Tampa Bay Lightning.
oh yeah,
they're
Sergachev
hurt.
going
Sergachev's
out,
out
he's
now.
definitely like I can't see him coming back at all
Clears
this
up
season.
all the cap space.
I think
now,
8
right?
mil.
Yeah,
So like, I mean, there's definitely going to be teams that will overpay. Like I think Noah Hannafin's a really good
I think
D-man.
he's
He's
great,
a really
yeah.
good player. Like I think 4th overall pick.
mm-hmm.
And but like, holy, like you could definitely fetch like a first round plus
Yep.
easily for him. And like I think you have to do that.
Yeah.
And Markstrom's value is probably the highest it has ever been as a Flame.
Yeah,
Like first star last week. He's on my fantasy team. He's been sick. So
yeah, I like
That's
Markstrom,
about all
and
I
he's
know.
been performing on that Flames team. I guess they've been heating up, but it's been tough this season, and I think the Devils need it.
yeah,
pretty
no,
bad.
definitely.
They need a goaltender.
Well, even Jack Hughes, like after that game the other night, takes a little shot. Like
See that snipe?
yeah, or no, like in the post game interview.
Oh, okay.
He was like, "Yeah, no, it really makes a difference when we get the saves."
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Not to throw you under the
Jesus,
bus,
man,
but
like, it's definitely not something you hear very often. Like, it might not have been like as directed as
Yeah.
I heard it,
So I
but
don't remember hearing that.
it was definitely like a little what the heck? That's
yeah.
whack.
Get a goalie.
Yeah,
Yeah. Hey, Mr. GM, whoever that is out in New Jersey,
yeah.
please go get Elvis Merzlikins.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think.
No,
I
that's
don't
not your
think
answer.
Merzlikins is
Markstrom
the
is-
fit. Yeah,
I think Elvis could. I think he's a great goalie.
I think he's a sick name.
Also a great name. He's just not. He is on the Blue Jackets after all.
He's
But
streaky too, though. Like
yeah,
he'll
he'll
play
go on. You go on a heater, get a shutout, and look amazing.
and then look like an AHL backup for the next month.
Well, he was like after he requested his trade, he was like, "I'm going to unleash the monster," and then he proceeds to lose 5 games in a row. It's like, well,
Yeah, I don't know if I trust you.
you should put that guy back in the cage.
This isn't a good monster.
Yeah. But I don't know how certain I am on Hannafin, but Tanev I think he's a goner from Calgary. So
Yeah.
What are the odds of Leafs?
Of course you hear the Leafs
One
a
just
lot.
Treliving being
Yeah,
there.
getting
Leafs
him back.
Leafs don't have a second round pick for 3 years. I don't think.
Yeah, that's
And that was the
funny.
asking price for him as well, right? I saw that, and the asking price is a second. The Leafs don't have a second, so
I really like. I don't know. I think the Flames could probably get like 3, maybe 4 first round picks at the deadline if they decide to move Markstrom, Hannafin, and Tanev.
Yeah.
Like I think somebody could pay. I wouldn't be shocked if Tanev gets moved for a first at some point.
Yep. I think that
Like-
would be the winner, right?
Yeah,
You're asking the second. You want to see the
somebody's
first.
gonna be desperate enough. Like, I
Well,
I
he
don't
moves
know.
the needle still. Like
Yeah.
he's old, but like
exactly.
he just a consistent. You know what you're getting. Right hand shot. Play top minutes. You play with Quinn Hughes for how long?
Yeah,
Like you can
Yeah.
play with high end defensemen, which is
He's
a
proved
skill
it.
in itself.
Brock Besser on Spit and Chicklets the other day was saying like, Oh, he was like a dad to me, Hughes, and Pettersson.
That's
like,
so cool.
Says like he's maybe like one of the best guys in the NHL. Just so sandpaper. Or, like I think any team would be super lucky to have a playoff guy like Chris Tanev. Like putting his face in front of shots and stuff. Just a freak.
Well, we got 5 minutes left, so I think it's time to kind of wrap it up. I just want to say we are not going to be here next week as we are on our spring or reading break. So we'll be back in 2 weeks. Reece, you got one more thing to say about your Gibbons Broncos, right?
Yeah, Gibbons Broncos in Gibbons Friday night, Saturday night, fighting for a playoff spot. If you're free, come out, support. Get all the fans we can get.
The 2 people who listen.
Yeah, exactly. My mom and dad.
My mom and dad.
But definitely happy to spend my Valentine's Day with you guys. Couldn't be happier. My girlfriend's super happy that I'm spending Valentine's Day with you guys.
There it is. Sounds like a lovely woman.
Oh, she's the best.
Oh,
well, I'm the luckiest.
Thanks for listening. See you guys in 2 weeks.
That has been another episode of Around the Rinks, your go-to hockey podcast. We'll see you next time.